You walked into that store for one thing: milk, bread, maybe a phone charger, something that should have cost you $7. But you walked out with 4 bags, a receipt long enough to wrap around your wrist, and a quiet, sinking feeling you cannot explain. You told yourself the deals were too good to pass up. You told yourself this time was different. It wasn't. Here's what no one is telling you. That confusion, that strange amnesia between walking in and walking out, it was engineered. Every inch of that store, the lighting, the music, the colors, the smells, the way the aisles curve, all of it was designed by people who have spent decades studying one thing: how to make you spend money you don't have on things you don't need, without ever realizing what happened. Today, as someone who has spent over 20 years in finance, watching people bleed money they worked brutally hard to earn, I'm going to pull back the curtain on every single trick they use. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe right now. What I'm about to share could save you thousands of dollars this year alone. The moment you walk through the door. Have you noticed that almost every grocery store has fresh flowers or bright produce right at the front? Retail psychologists call this the decompression zone. Those first 5 to 15 feet are designed to shift your emotional state. The flowers, the fresh produce, they're not there for logic. They're there because they make you feel good. They lower your defenses, they loosen your grip on your wallet, and a customer who feels good spends more. From that moment forward, every step you take has been choreographed. The Gruen Effect. How they make you forget why you came. Have you ever walked into a store and suddenly forgot what you came for? Started wandering, browsing, picking things up? There's a name for this. The Gruen Effect, named after architect Victor Gruen, who designed the first enclosed shopping mall in America. Store layouts are intentionally confusing, designed to disorient you, to break your sense of purpose and transform you from someone with a list into a wanderer who browses, lingers, and discovers. Grocery stores put milk and bread, the things you actually need, at the very back. To get there, you walk past every aisle, every end cap, every limited time sign. They are literally making you run a gauntlet of desire just to get a gallon of milk. How many times in the last month did you walk in for 2 things and walk out spending 5 times what you planned? Drop your answer in the comments. The shopping cart conspiracy. In the 1930s, shopping baskets were small. People carried them by hand and bought what they could carry. Nothing more. Then the shopping cart was invented, and modern carts have been deliberately oversized. Studies show that when you double the size of a cart, purchases increase by up to 40%. Why? Relative perception. When your cart is large and your items are few, your brain says the cart looks empty, and empty feels like you haven't bought enough. So you keep adding. You're not shopping anymore. You're filling a void, literally and psychologically. The $9.99 lie, and why your brain can't see it. Charm pricing. The 0.99, the 0.97, the 0.95. You see a shirt for $29.99, and your brain reads it as 20-something dollars, not 30. This is called the left digit bias. Your brain anchors to the first digit. Research shows this tactic increases sales by up to 24%. You know $9.99 is basically $10, and yet your brain falls for it every single time. They've been doing this for over 100 years. And it still works, because they're not targeting your intelligence. They're targeting your instincts. If you're starting to feel like the game has been rigged, it has. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. The next sections will change how you see money forever. The anchor. How they make expensive look cheap. You walk into an electronics store. The first TV you see is $4,999. You move on. Then you see another. $1,299. Suddenly, $1,299 feels reasonable, like a deal. But that $4,999 TV was never meant to sell. It was placed there specifically to make $1,299 look affordable by comparison. A psychological anchor your brain latches onto without permission. William Sonoma discovered this accidentally. A bread maker sold poorly at $275, so they introduced a bigger one at $429. The expensive one didn't sell, but sales of the $275 model nearly doubled. This happens everywhere. In every subscription model showing you basic, standard, premium. The premium tier exists to push you toward standard. You thought you were choosing. You were being steered. The decoy, the option that exists only to trick you. A magazine offers two options: online only, $59 per year; print and online, $125 per year. Most choose online only. Now add a third: online only, $59; print only, $125; print and online, $125. Suddenly, print and online looks incredible. Same price as print only, but you get online too. Except the print-only option was never meant to be chosen. It's a decoy. Its entire purpose is to make the most expensive option look like a steal. In studies, adding the decoy shifted consumer preference by over 40 percentage points. Have you ever looked at three options and felt like the middle one was just right? That's not intuition. That's the compromise effect. And companies spend millions engineering that feeling. Only three left. The scarcity illusion. You're shopping online, right beneath the price. Only three left in stock. Order soon. Your heart rate ticks up. Your finger moves toward add to cart. This is manufactured scarcity. Robert Cialdini, one of the most cited psychologists in behavioral science, identified scarcity as one of 6 fundamental principles of persuasion. When we believe something is rare, we want it more. We act faster, we think less. And here's the dirty secret. That stock counter is often fake. Countdown timers, flash sales. This deal expires in 2 hours, then miraculously resets the next day. The product isn't running out. Your rational thinking is, buy now, pay later. The most dangerous 4 words in retail. Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, 4 easy payments, 0 interest, no credit check. It sounds helpful. It sounds like the store is doing you a favor. It is the most sophisticated spending trap of the 21st century. When you pay in full, your brain registers pain. Neuroscientists have mapped this. The same regions that process physical pain light up when you spend money. This is the pain of paying, your brain's natural defense system. Buy now, pay later. Disables that alarm. By splitting into 4 tiny installments, $200 doesn't feel like $200. It feels like $50 4 times, which feels like nothing. Studies show BNPL users spend 30 to 50% more than they would paying upfront. Not because they can afford more, because their brain can no longer feel the cost. Then the payments stack. 6 different BNPL commitments. Hemorrhaging $50 here, $35 there. And you can't remember what half are for. It went exactly where the stores wanted it to go. If this is hitting close to home, share this with someone you love. The people who need to hear this most are the ones who don't realize they're trapped. The loyalty program lie. Congratulations! You've earned 500 points. Feels like winning, doesn't it? How much did you spend to earn those points? Most loyalty programs return between 1% and 5% of your spending. In points that expire, can only be used at that store, and require you to spend more to redeem. The loyalty program uses variable reinforcement, the same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. You don't get a reward every time, but often enough to keep coming back, to keep choosing that store even when another has better prices. You're not a loyal customer. You're a repeat spender with a punch card. The free shipping trap. Free shipping on orders over $35. You've got $22 in your cart. That $13 gap gnaws at you, so you add a $15 item you didn't need. Now you've spent $15 to save $6. Free shipping thresholds are precisely calibrated, using years of purchase data, to sit just above the average order value. Behavioral economists call this the zero price effect. The word free hijacks your rational brain and makes you prefer it irrationally. Next time you see free shipping over X dollars, close your eyes for 5 seconds. Ask, would I buy this without the threshold? If no, close the tab. Shrinkflation. The theft you can't see. Your favorite bag of chips used to be 16 ounces. Now it's 13.5. The price? Exactly the same, sometimes higher. Companies know you notice price increases. A jump from $3.99 to $4.49 triggers alarm bells. But a reduction in quantity? Most people never notice. The bag looks identical. They're not just taking your money. They're shrinking your purchasing power while making you feel like nothing has changed. The music, the lights, the smells, the invisible puppet strings. The music playing in that store was selected. Tempo, genre, volume, Based on decades of consumer research, slow music makes you walk slower. The slower you walk, the more time you spend. Studies show slow-tempo music can increase sales by up to 38%. The lighting. Warm and flattering in clothing stores, so you look better in that outfit. The bread scent in a grocery store? Often artificial, piped through ventilation to trigger emotional responses. The store isn't just selling you products, it's selling you a feeling, and your wallet opens for feelings faster than it opens for logic. 10 for $10. The bulk buy illusion. 10 yogurts for $10. Do you need 10 yogurts? Doesn't matter. Your brain just processed a rule, and buying fewer than 10 feels like losing. In most of these promotions, you can buy 1 yogurt for $1. But the framing makes your brain think it's all or nothing. And limit 5 per customer. You wanted 0, but now there's a limit, so it must be scarce and valuable. Instead of 0, you buy 4. You bought 5 of something you never wanted because a sign told you that you couldn't buy 6. The checkout zone. The final ambush. You survived the aisles. You stuck to your list. And then, the checkout line. Candy bars, gum, batteries, travel-sized everything. Positioned at arm's reach, at eye level, for you and your children. These are low-consideration purchases. Things you grab without thinking, without comparing. $1.50 here, $2 there, $3.49 for the magazine. Multiply that by every trip, every week, every year. And you're looking at hundreds of dollars annually on things you never planned to buy. The checkout line is not where shopping ends. It's where the final extraction happens. The digital evolution. They followed you home. All those tactics used to be confined to physical stores. Not anymore. Now they followed you into your phone, your inbox, your social media feed. Algorithms track what you browse, how long you hover, what time of day you're most likely to impulse buy. They know you better than you know yourself. AI-powered recommendation engines are built on one premise. What can we show this person to make them spend money right now? While their defenses are down, while they're bored, while they're scrolling at midnight, personalized pricing, retargeting ads that follow you for weeks after you looked at one pair of shoes. This isn't commerce anymore. This is behavioral surveillance, monetized. The emotional truth. Why this really keeps people broke. Psychology isn't the root cause. It's the accelerant. People don't go broke solely because stores are clever. People go broke because they're exhausted, because they work 50-hour weeks and the only dopamine they get comes from buying something new. That Amazon package, that new outfit, that thing ordered at 11 p.m. because the day was hard. The stores didn't create that emptiness, but they learned to exploit it. They placed a buy now button right in that wound. And every time you press it, you feel better, for about 11 minutes, before the guilt, before the bank notification, before you realize the thing you bought didn't fill the hole. It never fills the hole, because the hole isn't about stuff, it's about meaning. If you felt that, subscribe. This isn't about being cheap. This is about refusing to let someone else's profit margin dictate your financial future. The way out, what you do now. You don't fight a system that spent billions defeating your willpower with more willpower. You fight it with systems. First, the 24-hour rule. If it's not food, medicine, or an emergency, wait 24 hours before buying. 70% of impulse purchases are abandoned when you simply sleep on it. The urgency was artificial. Second, delete the apps. Every shopping app on your phone is a pipeline into your decision-making center. Remove it. Use the website on your computer. The friction matters. Friction is your friend. Third, use a physical list. Write down what you need before entering the store. Do not deviate. Treat shopping like a mission, not an experience. Fourth, carry cash. Studies show cash users spend 12 to 18% less than card users. Cash makes spending tangible. And tangible is what you need when the system is designed to make spending feel invisible. Fifth, audit your subscriptions. Today, open your bank statement and look at every recurring charge. You will find money you didn't know you were losing. Sixth, talk about money. Break the silence. The stores win because financial shame keeps people quiet. The moment you say it out loud, the spell breaks. Community is the antidote to manipulation. Final words. Here's the truth that took me 20 years in finance to fully understand. The system is not broken. It's working exactly as designed. Designed to keep you spending, to keep you wanting, to keep you one purchase away from satisfaction that never arrives. Every layout, every pricing trick, every scarcity timer. They all serve the same purpose: to keep you running on a treadmill that goes nowhere, buying things that don't matter, with money that could have changed your life. But now you know. Now you see the strings. And a player who understands the game cannot be played the same way again. You walked into this video as a consumer. I want you to walk out as something more dangerous. An informed one. Share this. Send it to every person you care about who's ever wondered why they can't get ahead. Despite working hard, despite earning money, despite trying. If this changed something in you, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment telling me the one trick you're going to stop falling for starting today. I read every single one. See you in the next one. Copyright Money Vault. Financial awareness content. For educational purposes, not personalized financial advice. Consult a licensed financial professional for decisions specific to your situation. The Gruen Effect. How they make you forget why